So, we're going to have a think about what we know about Lent. Lent, the English word Lent, actually comes from a word that's lecten, which like lengthen, which from the Old English word means the spring. So actually, Lent is a springtime where we're seeing the new life coming around us. And of course, when we eventually get to Easter, then we really celebrate that new life. So people would have fasted for Lent. It would have been very strict in the medieval Western Europe. People wouldn't have eaten meat or fish or dairy or eggs, and they'd have only had one meal a day. But today, people might give up different things for Lent, but perhaps not for some people. Some people do, but not everybody quite so strictly. But also, we can think about taking up things for Lent as well. So, as Nadine said at the beginning, Lent started on Ash Wednesday, and we had a service here where people had crosses drawn on their foreheads with the ash. Lent then lasts until Easter Day. And the next one. So we say that there are 40 days of Lent. I want somebody to come and do some counting. Becky, I know this is what you can count.
I've got a count. I struggle to do the alphabet.
So, this is the squares, got Ash Wednesday all the way through to Easter Day. I'd like you to count all of those squares. Yeah?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. What do you do that? 47, I'm wrong.
Does anybody else want to have a try? Have a see if she's right. So start here and count along. Yeah? 1. 46. Well, that's a bit strange when it's telling us that Lent is for 40 days. That's I think it's yes. It's because we don't count the Sundays. So Sunday is like having a festival. We say that Sunday is the day of resurrection, and it means that if you give something up for Lent, you can have Sunday off. One of my friends, I know Janet Harrow, she struggles if she doesn't have chocolate. So she gives it up and then enjoys it on a Sunday. So if you've given something up, you can actually have it on a Sunday. And 40 is a number that does, in the Bible, signifies a long period of time. So the flood, when Noah flooded, was 40 days and 40 nights. The Hebrew people spent 40 years wandering in the wilderness before they got to the promised land. We're told that Moses spent 40 days on Mount Sinai with God before receiving the 10 Commandments. And of course, the reading that Sheila's just read to us tells us that Jesus spent 40 days and 40 nights in the wilderness after his baptism. So in these 40 days of Lent, we are preparing ourselves for the celebration of Easter, by taking time to reflect on our life and death of Jesus and what it means for us to be Christians, and how Jesus might have felt as he took his final journey to Jerusalem, knowing that he would be sentenced to death on a cross. And there are all sorts of there are all sorts of things that we can do. And sometimes we've heard about sort of doing 40 acts of kindness, thinking of something each day that you could be doing for somebody else to show them God's love, or to be praying for a different person each day or a different situation of what's going on. And particularly, of course, we're thinking about Ukraine. I'm going to go straight into our notices. And many of you receive the update. It comes out every Friday with a lot of information of what's happening in church. If you don't and would like to, there are some cards just by the door. If you put your details, including an email address, they'll remind you and you'll be able to receive all of that. There's lots going on during Lent. We've got a Lent menu that's around. There are opportunities to meet online in a book group that's looking at Be Still on a Thursday evening. This coming Tuesday, there will be a talk on Zoom by someone called Karen Fisher. Karen works for Buckinghamshire Council doing their flood relief, but she's talking about how her faith influences her everyday life. And the following week, we've got a recording from Andy Armstrong, who's Finley and Emily's dad, who's posted overseas at the moment with the RAF, and talk about his faith and his work. And then finally, on the third week, Barry Horner, who's a finance person who's known to Nadine. He's Lydia's father-in-law. That will be is very worth listening to. So again, details in the Lent menu or on the update, and there's a link to how you get into the Zoom. And on Thursday mornings we have our 10 o'clock communion service, and we're going to be looking at Be Still material in that as well. So lots of opportunity for you to enter into Lent. Again, and so if you've got one of the menus, there's lots of other links and things that you can do. There's this little book that's a Church of England publication that's called Live Lent, Embracing Justice. And there's something in there for every day, if that's something that you would find helpful. So we'll get the books out and those will be available. There's a basket at the back with a sign that says it's for money for the Disaster Emergency Committee Ukraine appeal. Again, there's a link on the update, or you can find it in many places. But I think it's very much felt that rather than give things, it's actually far better that we donate money. And doing it to the DEC, which is a lot of charities, including the Red Cross, Christian Aid, CAFOD, all coming together. They will make sure that the money is going into the right places. So if it's easy for you to put some money in the basket, do that, or find your own way of giving to that. And obviously we just continue to hold that situation in prayer. There are a few prayer stations that have been set up for Lent. The one behind the choir here, just in front of the high altar, is specifically for Ukraine. And there are little things to do. So if you want, before you leave, to come and spend time there. Or church is open 9 till 6 every day. There's a chance for you to come in and just spend, again, some quiet time. There are always people in here. It's amazing how many people come in. Last Sunday, if you were here, David Blackmore talked about eco-church and had hoped that there would be some cards for you to fill in. If you didn't get a chance to do that. And really what they're asking is if you could get involved in Eco Church, how you might be able to be kept informed of what we're planning to do. The cars are over there, David, and they're by the board that's got sort of pictures and things you'd be looking at. If you weren't here, you can go onto the website and listen to David's talk because it will be there. If you want to go for a walk this afternoon, Paul's leading a walk at 2 o'clock that's going up Dunsmore, onto Coombe Hill and back down into the village. So that is happening. I'm trying to think what else. There's lots and lots going on. But please, as I say, do read the update, and if you don't get it, then ask us for one.